Hi everyone, my name is Finley McGavin and today I'm going to be discussing the 12 principles of animation. In 1981, Walt Disney animators Ollie Johnston and Frank Thomas wrote a book called The Illusion of Life Disney Animation, in which they explained how animators at Walt Disney Studios from the 1930s onwards had identified and developed the 12 key principles of animation. The use of these 12 principles are important to achieve an animation with which the audiences can connect with. Regardless of the way it's made, animations don't need all 12 to achieve the illusion of life, but the more principles you embed, the more successful the outcome. Squash and stretch makes us believe that a moving object or character has weight, is flexible, and is affected by gravity. The ball in this example squashes wide and is flatter as it hits the ground, while stretching in length as it bounces back up. Anticipation captivates an audience and tells them there is more exciting things to come. Coming before an action sequence like this jump cycle, anticipation prepares the character's position into a more bend before a more believable jump. Follow-through and overlapping is a principle which allows a part of an object or character to continue moving once its body has come to a stop. Imagine if a character stopped abruptly after running. Their hair and arms might continue to move, much like the bottom of this pendulum, once its body comes to a stop. Slow in and slow out help animated objects and characters to increase and decrease the speed of their movements from the beginning to end of an animated sequence, like how a car starts moving then stops. To achieve this principle, more frames are added to the beginning and end of an animation. Arcs occur naturally in real life, and the use of arcs in animations helps to trace movements, making them more realistic. Particularly useful in character animation, an arc gives animations fluid motions and appear less mechanical. Whether it be the movements of a character's hand or the bounce of a ball, arcs connect movements with secondary actions. Secondary actions are used in animations to support the main actions occurring in the scene. In this example, a nervous-looking character could have a foot tapping the ground or his hand tapping his leg as a secondary action to highlight his nervousness. Timing is used to help give a sense of weight and gravity. In the real world, you wouldn't be able to push a heavy object very quickly. Therefore, to make animations more realistic and believable, you'd have to adjust the timing of the frames to slow down the action in order for it to appear realistic. More frames equal less movements and less frames equal faster movements. Staging draws the audience's attention to the parts of an animation which are key for telling the story. An animator may focus an audience's attention on characters and elements key to understanding the story by adding more details and action to them. In this 2016 League of Legends animation, you can see how the focus is on the main character's hostile interaction, whilst the background has less details and movement. The exaggeration principle used in animation can make characters and elements more dynamic. By pushing the limits of what's real, exaggeration techniques in animation can inspire and create unexpected responses which can help captivate an audience. Much like this exaggerated slip, fall, and tumble used in Warner Bros. Animation of Tom and Jerry. Appeal is used to help create personalities for animated characters by adding character and scene designs which are appealing to the viewers to watch. An example being the Wolfman from the anime series Soul Eater by Funimation, where an average-looking man transforms into a more eye-catching wolf-like form. There is no right way of getting appeal right in any animation, but by focusing on building a story with characters and scenes that interact well is a good start. Straight-ahead action and pose-to-pose are techniques used to guide how an animation is made. Straight ahead requires an animator making each frame from start to finish, where pose-to-pose focuses on making the key poses first. Examples illustrated show how the top animation sequence uses straight ahead while the bottom uses pose-to-pose. While both end in a similar result, straight ahead creates more fluid motions while pose-to-pose allows for making easier changes later. Solid drawing is used to give two-dimensional drawings the effect of sitting in three-dimensional space, therefore making it more solid and lifelike. For example, the image of Mickey Mouse on the left is a 2D drawing which looks more stiff and lifeless, while the image on the right is drawn using solid drawing principle, giving it more realistic atmosphere. Pushing the line between 2D and 3D is possible, but must remain consistent to be effective. The 12 principles of animation as outlined by Ollie Johnston and Frank Thomas in the book The Illusion of Life Disney Animation are crucial elements in animation's development and execution. The principles developed and honed in the early days of Disney animation have created effective tools for today's generation. Without these 12 principles, animation would not have improved nearly as much. Remember, the more you embed in your animation, the more it will give the illusion of life.